Alright everyone, so this is the experiment flat, the old Coca-Cola crate. All the radishes came up absolutely perfectly. The lettuce is starting to pop up right here in the middle. And the beets, okay, so beets, a lot of people don't know this, but beets and Swiss chard are pretty much the same thing, minus the roots. They grow in clusters, so you get a little like, we used to call them dammits or little pricklies. And they have multiple seeds inside that one little like prickly thing. So you drop one in there, a lot of times you'll get one or two roots. You choose the best one, the lowest one on the ground, and it'll grow. But I'm about to water this in, and everything else is looking great. Cucumbers are finally taking off. Onions are doing well. Spinach right here is looking absolutely gorgeous. I wasn't planning on making a video, but that Swiss chard, y'all. Look at that yellow. Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. It tastes so delicious. I love it. Look at the crinkle on there. A little breeze. Feels great out here this morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. Yeah, look at that. And those cucumbers that we planted last time, and all those radishes between the Swiss chard and onions are coming up. Good stuff. Oh man, look at that. Okay, y'all, so this is a grapefruit I grew from seed. I have another one in the kitchen sitting on the windowsill. It's kind of neglected a little bit, but it is absolutely loving outside. Minus this. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it'll be fun. But good stuff. June went and got it a pot, and it's loving it. Alright, as we can see, this is where we planted the second crop of kohlrabi. They are all coming up, doing well. Well, not all, but look at this. Random lettuce seed, right? We were planting lettuce further down in the garden, and one random seed decided it wanted to move down here. That's cool. June and I discussed it. We're just going to let this grow. This is black-seeded Simpson. We're going to let it grow to a quote-unquote head. It doesn't really form a head, but it'll grow nicely. We'll have it in a meal. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And then we have ground cherries that come up every year. We made the mistake of planting them in our actual garden, and we can never get rid of them even if we want to. We have another one down there. If you grow ground cherries, I recommend putting them in an individual bed somewhere like on a corner of a property maybe. Oh, I don't want this growing up in here. Let's take this. Well, I think this is what I don't want. That is going to be a sunflower. Boom, which is what that is. And then these peas over here kind of hanging on, kind of doing their thing. Kind of trying to grow. Come on, honey. Come over here. There you go. Climb up there. That's good for you. But look at this lettuce, y'all. This is incredible. Absolutely gorgeous leaves. Really beautiful. Doing really well this year. Let's see how it tastes. Amazing. Alright, y'all, so over here is the one thing that I can't seem to grow very well. I know this is all really crowded. This right here is bok choy, and it's known mostly for Asian meals. Let's get that out of there. That don't look good. There we go. Better. And stir fries, things like that. It's really crowded, kind of like that lettuce over there. This was some really old seed. I didn't think it would germinate at all, but it did. Now it's starting to send out flowers because it's getting over 70 during the day and it likes cooler weathers. June tried one the other day and she said it tastes like broccoli, so I'm gonna try it. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's definitely very sweet. Very delicious. And yeah, peas in the background now. In this bed as well, June got the cups mixed up. This is a cabbage planted in with our potatoes and kohlrabi. These are purple potatoes that we put out. They said that they were going to be very productive, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, everybody knows, in Jerrid's garden, he has to have kohlrabi. Absolutely delicious. Super duper looking forward to that. Got another one little over there. We're going to pull out that. And then we're going to mount these potatoes up, give them more grow space. Got one more. Woo. But looking forward to the kohlrabi. Obviously, I planted way more over there than what I probably should have, but it's okay. So, good stuff. These potatoes should be absolutely amazing this year, so I'm looking forward to that. But June put a cabbage over here. She meant to put it over in the cabbage bed, but she ended up swapping a kohlrabi. So there's one kohlrabi over there, one cabbage over here, but it's filling in nicely. Alright, so I know it may look like a mess, but this through here is some of June's flowers, sunflowers. I think she's got zinnias, a couple other flowers, stuff like that. Got a pot right here. Ignore all the red cups. We haven't gone around and collected them all yet. Can't remember. Chamomile. This is going to be her herb bed. Let me pull all these because these are just weeds. If I'm not mistaken, this is fennel. I think it might be anise. No, it's fennel. And rosemary. Ooh, yeah, that's rosemary. And she had one other thing in here. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, they're looking healthy. They're looking good. Super strong, super potent. Ooh, that smells good. But she wants to put basil in and popolo, but I told her to wait till these get a little larger. Due to the fact that basil grows so extremely quickly and will take over everything, as we have found in the past. This blue bed right here is mostly carrots coming through. She went through and thinned most of them. Got a good stack on. The weather's slowly being temperamental. Put in some peppers, and all through here there's all sorts of different peppers, so I'm not going to show you all those. They're just from here down. A couple different varieties of peppers, and yeah, when those actually start coming on, we'll show you guys. The yellow bed, my favorite bed of all. Why is that? Everybody knows what these are, right? They are Jerrid's absolute favorite in the garden, other than the kohlrabi. Let me clean all these out while I'm sitting here. They don't need to be there. I know some people say, oh, you can just sheet mulch it. I will eventually, once they start getting bigger. But beets. I love beets. Absolutely gorgeous. Imagine if you were an ant just walking through there, trying to get through a forest of beets. Bunch of red trees. I went and hand seeded these. Ooh, I knocked that one over. My bad, I'm sorry, baby. I went and hand seeded these directly. I didn't just drop seed in. And for some reason, the outsides didn't get as, as full. So I might come through and pop a couple seeds in just so I have enough time to get them in when I'm taking these other ones out. But the center came in beautifully. I was quite well surprised. But yeah, y'all will see us harvest these. These will be amazing, and I look forward to them. Alright, y'all, so here's the cabbage we were growing. As you can see, it's starting to form a head in the middle. Yay, good and excited. I'm hoping we can get these cabbage to grow and form before the cabbage moth take over. That's one thing we don't want, but as I was saying earlier in the other bed, you can see a random kohlrabi. June swapped one of the cabbages for the kohlrabis, I guess. Oh, look at that. I forgot I put these beans in here. Garden beans right in the middle. Boom, coming up quick. Oh, yes, right there. They're going to be so good mixed in with these cabbage. It'll help fight off some of the cabbage moth. The cabbage moth don't like the beans, the odor, the scent of the beans. Kind of like planting onions with beans and things like that. But good stuff. Alright, y'all, so So these 3 beds on the back end here, you can see I just recently planted more. These are acorn squash with, I think, a zucchini. I replanted yellow squash here because nothing came up. And these are supposed to be yellow squash and then zucchini, if I remember right. But yeah, I had to replant these. They weren't doing nothing, and I think I put them in too early. Alright, so way over here on the other side of the yard is a tomato bed. We currently have tomato, garlic, marigolds. We have, I think those are marigolds. Oh damn, I can't remember. Oregano. This oregano bush actually survived the winter and did very well. The peas over here are growing lovely, but you can see we got them interplanted with tomatoes. Garlic helps fight off any pests the tomatoes might have, as well as they harvest about the same time the tomatoes are really starting to take off. So that's where we put it in the winter, and that garlic harvest is going to be fun. Hopefully we won't disturb the roots of the tomatoes too badly, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. Alright, so that lettuce over there in the garden bed isn't the only lettuce we have. We have other Merlot variety here. We also have some more carrots and a couple more radishes. Boom. And yeah, just chilling up here on the AC unit since we don't use it. Put them in a bed. It's been doing really well. We've harvested from this a few times. Alright y'all, so this is a funny. Originally, lemon balm was put here next to the stairs. We gotta get new stairs. I'm planning on building a deck, but I don't know when. Pumpkin. June threw pumpkin down. This is kind of like a catch-all here in the garden corner. They're right out the door. You can see a bunch of kids' trash, but pumpkins are actually growing up and sprouting. Doing quite well, and we'll see what comes of them. Look at this. Outrageous. We're going to have so many pears this year. Oh my goodness, all over the place. So I made a mistake. I decided not to prune back, arbor back, cut back, whatever you want to call it, the pear tree. So we're going to have a lot of pears this year. This was the pear tree that Gideon and I planted, but looking gorgeous. Alright y'all, one mistake I did not make in the fall, I did not let the peach tree grow crazy. I trimmed it way back, cut it way down, but as you can see, we have an insane, absolutely insane amount of fruit. Look at all that. You see all that? Now, I don't know how much of this fruit we're actually going to get. It will be interesting to find out, but just look at that branch. Just covered. They almost look like grapes, on all honesty. I mean, just loaded down. So we'll see if we can get any of these fruit before these branches snap, for one. And for two, we will find out if we can get any before the pests do, which is our biggest concern right now, are the pests. Yeah, but absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. These are a white peach variety. Look at all that, all just through there. Whew, wow. Tastes absolutely delicious. And of course, our favorite trees of all, the fig trees. We really cut these suckers back this year. They were getting way too large and just overtaking the house. I mean, this whole corner, you couldn't even get into this entire corner. Now we really cut it back, pull it down a little bit from the house. It's going to get taller this year, so I will absolutely, probably when I'm up there doing the roof, I will probably lop them down further down. But it's amazing how fast these things grew, how sturdy they are. The fact that we're already getting fruit is also fun. But yeah, there we go. The fact that we're getting fruit is also fun. Already, this is going to be our early flush. We normally get a flush around like mid-June, and then we will get inundated with them in like August, September time frame, if I'm thinking of it right. We have to figure out something to do with all the other figs we still have in the freezer from last year. I like making things like fig desserts, like just taking a fig, cutting it in half, throwing them in like a cast iron, like caramelizing them and then throwing them over ice cream. Absolutely delicious. Love it. But you can only have so much of that before it burns you out. But yeah, just how productive and how thick these branches are. Absolutely incredible. And to think this thing came from only just 2 little twigs sticking out of the ground all them years ago. But and June's little wildflower weed batch. I'm letting these dandelion go so I can harvest more dandelion for dandelion coffee over the coming years. As you will see that video out shortly, I'm working on that one. 2 little random lettuce that decided I wanted to grow, and a whole bunch of weeds. But yeah, I'm gonna let these go. June was saying she didn't think that they are growing as quickly this year. I don't know. I can't quite tell. But yeah, good stuff. These figs are incredible. So thank you for coming along with me on that quick little Saturday morning garden little tour, I guess. It is dripping out here. We were expecting more rain. We've gotten a lot of rain. I think that's why the garden has absolutely loved it so much. But yeah, stay tuned for future harvests.